Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live broadcast tonight. I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to guide you tonight. Tonight I'm going to talk about a question that one of my clients asked. And to be honest with you, last week we spoke about the questions and answers that I did in our last live video. And when I finished the whole live Q&A, I realized that there was one more question. But everything worked out always the way it have to. So when I look at the question afterwards, I realized that that was the perfect topic for tonight's discussion. So tonight I'm definitely going to talk about or more simplified steps for goal setting. So let's get in the question. The question that my client was asking is, hey coach, how do I stop feeling overwhelmed so I can accomplish my goals? Sometimes it feels like I'm going crazy. Now, this is definitely a question that I'm going to answer in a more simplified way for you. So, hold on tight. So, here we go. Goals can be very inspiring, and it can help us to create the life we absolutely love living. I mean, who doesn't like living a good life, you know? So, on the other hand, setting too many goals can also make us feel overwhelmed. And it takes you up to the point where you can't move forward and you feel stuck. So, tonight I'm definitely going to simplify this for you. And if you like what you hear already, please remember to hit that like button, share this video, share your comments. Um, yeah, before I start, if anyone is live tonight here, please do say hi in the comment section so I can see that you're here. Do know that sometimes our signal are delayed and comments will only come later through as we go through. So let's see if anybody is on the comment section yet. Let's see. No, nothing yet. Okay, so let's get starting. Let's look at the steps that we can follow so we don't feel overwhelmed when we setting our goals. The first step that I would take personally, and I'll always do that because it's so important to me to write things down. So, step one is write it down. Now, it's easy to take a book or a notepad and just write it down, but I've got a nice way for myself of working it. I would take an A4 paper and will split it into four sections. That gives me enough time or enough space to write about four different goals that I would like to work with. So take a A4 page, split it in four, and mark each section 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now let's look at the categories that one can use for goal setting. We can look at our business, our personal, we can look at our health, our career, our family, our loved ones. As you can see, there's many different categories we can use for goal setting. So that's why I like working in this way because then I have more clear vision of what I need to do. The next step I would follow is to really focus on what I want and not on the things that I don't want. It's so easy to get overwhelmed and start thinking, what do I want? What do I don't want? The best is to just focus. Focus on what you want. Think about the end result. What is the end result that you want when you set your goal? Make sense to you? If it does make sense, do leave me a comment in the comment section. Let's look at how I would structure this for myself. I'm going to use, for example, career. My first block would be career. Underneath that, I will bullet point in every category my way of thinking of steps that I can take. Um, let's look at career. Can I advertise more? Do I need to update my resume so I can send it out? Those are the type of things that I will bullet point for myself. By doing this, I allow myself to plan ahead so I can feel more satisfying with the goals that I put out. And that is what I want to call my plan of action. Doing this will also help me clarify my priorities when I set my goals. So think about this. Here's the question. Once you bullet point everything, how would you feel when you succeed? What would you feel? Would you be excited? Would you be ecstatic? Would you be happy? Would you feel amazing? This is something I do at the bottom of each of my blocks. I write, I feel, and space, whatever you feel. Put that down. Look at it. Let it motivate you. And please do that for each section or each area on the same page. I don't want you to go over into another page. The second page I will get to just now, where we can actually ask ourselves questions and answer those, because that will guide us to set our goals properly. So each block, each section, I would write down how I would feel when I succeed. What is my level of satisfaction when I achieve this goal for each area? So let's look at the questions that we can ask for our categories. If you want to write this down, you're more than welcome to. I'll try and post it after our live video, just a list of questions that I was giving tonight that you can look at. So let's look at our goals. What can I do? What should I do first to change myself, and what changes should I make to achieve my goal? This is one of my first questions I would always ask. Then I would look at, as I said, we have to make sure that we know what we want. So the next question would be, what do I want to achieve by setting this goal? The next question would be, what do I really want? Can you see I come back to that all the time? Because sometimes we say we want something, but we don't actually mean it. So for me, it's so important to actually make sure that what I put down is what I really want. My next question would be, what would I like to accomplish through setting this goal? What would be my outcome, and what would the ideal outcome be for this goal? So remember, I'm working on my career, so I need to look at the end result while I'm asking all these questions. My next question would be, what are the benefits if I achieve this goal? What would be the benefits if I achieve this goal? In other words, positive. What is my positive benefits? Then my favorite golden rule, what is the smallest step that I can take to make this change? Now that's a question I ask in many directions, many ways, many situations for myself. I always ask myself, what is the smallest step that I can take to make this change, or to take action and step forward? My next question would be, what stopped me? What stopped me from achieving this specific goal that I try to achieve? Then I would look at, what is my different options that I have? All these you need to write down for yourself. Write down what is your options. Look at them. Let them guide you, because that will help you to find what you need to do next. And that is my next and my last question that I would normally say, what do I do next? What do I need to do next? What is the next step I've got to take? So writing down the steps that I need to follow is very important. And that's why I would ask these questions from myself, so I know what direction I'm going into. I want you to understand one thing. Goal setting takes time and proper planning. It's not just something that I'm going to sit and do in 5 minutes. Goal setting can take an hour, 2 hours. It can take a day or two. If you plan properly, it takes time. It's not a magical wand that we whip out and there we go, right? My next step that I would take for myself is, at the end of my day, I like sitting and do self-talk. In other words, a 5-minute meeting with yourself, the conversation, the self-talk, to talk about it, to look at it, maybe verbally read through that again so you can hear it, you can see it, you can understand what you're actually reading. For me, that 5 minutes is crucial, because that guides me, that helps me, that motivates me. Right. The next step that I want to really bring in, we all have different routines in our life, but for me, setting goals, you should develop a daily routine, something like a positive affirmation, journaling. One of my favorite things to do is to write how I think, how I feel, the emotion that I'm going through. Maybe you'd like to do meditation. Use meditation. It's a form of expression. It also brings the mind down so you can think more clearly. Structure your routine in a reasonable way. Because at the end of the day, setting goals is to commit to the journey. And you don't want to set a goal if you can't commit to the journey. I've got a beautiful sheet that I've got that I would like to post after this live broadcast, which I call my weekly goal sheet. It's got little blocks for each day, and I would like you to use it. I'll post it so you can download it because at the end of the day, I want you to take action. I want you to feel that you are getting somewhere and you're achieving your goals. So if you like what you hear and you're ready to go with this, I would like you just to give me a like or give a comment to say, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to take on what I need to do for myself to achieve my goals. A few last steps that I would like to just have a chat with you. What we forget to do most often when we achieve our goals is rewarding ourselves. We forget to celebrate our achievements. And it doesn't have to be necessarily big achievements or small, it can be anything. From the smallest to the biggest, always remember to celebrate and celebrate what you achieve. That for me is key. We've got to celebrate what we achieve. Give yourself credit. You deserve that. Feel proud about what you achieve. Doesn't matter how big or how small that is. Now, we use a specific module with some of our clients, which is called the SMART Goal Set module. I really want to just break down the word SMART for you so you can see why this method works so well. And if you look at that and while you're setting your goals, I hope this will help you to guide you and put the steps into place. So let's look at the word SMART. The S is standing for specific. That is where you have to be very clear about your goal. Be specific about what you want. Can you see I'm coming back to that? M is measurable. Once we can measure our growth and our steps to get us to our goal when we achieve it, it's like almost it's an easy follow through for us because then we understand what we have to do. So we must be able to measure our growth or our steps that we're taking. How close are we to the goal or our achievement? The A in SMART stand for action. This is where you have to take action. This is where you put down the steps that you need to take to achieve your goal. Let's look at the letter R. It's realistic. Remember, there's many times that we talk live, that we talk about be reasonable, be realistic, be logic when you set your goals. Realistic goals mean that you can commit fully to your process. If you are more realistic, it makes it easier for you to achieve that goal at the end of the day. Let's look at T. T stands for time bound or a timeline. When we set a time for each goal, we know that we have to achieve it. So every goal should have a cut-off time or in timeline for me, because then I know I've got to put the action in place and I've got to do the work for myself. So I hope that makes sense to you. Let me just go back and repeat all the steps. So if you want to write it down, more than welcome to. Step number 1 is write it down. Step number 2 is focus on what you want. Step number 3, think about the feelings that you would feel when you succeed or achieve this goal. Step number 4 is question yourself with the questions. Like I said, I will post the questions, so you're more than welcome to use them. Step number 5 is the steps I have to follow to get me to my goal. Step number 6 was to have a 5-minute self-talk meeting with yourself. Step number 7 was to develop a routine, a daily routine for yourself. Step number 7 is commit to the journey. And the last step was to take action. Very important step. So, having that said, if you feel that you can tonight put that into place and it's more simplified for you, how you can actually set your goals, give me a thumbs up, because I would like to see that you're happy, that you can see that you can actually do this for yourself. By all means, if you still struggle, I want to give you an offer of a free call. I want you to book your free session with me or with Paul. Let's talk. Let's help you achieve your goals. If you're not sure about the steps, let's have a chat. Let's talk about it. Let's see how we can help you to achieve that goal and be successful. We will post the link in the comment section. So when you're ready and you see the link, you're more than welcome to hit that link. So I just want to say thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you for watching every Tuesday and Thursday. I'm always excited to come up and talk about our topics. Goal set is very big for me because that guides me to where I want to be. And I'm hoping that you would come next week and join us again. Share our videos, like our videos, comment if you need to. Please send this to your families and your friends out there so they can join us. If you have not joined our group, just hit the join button on the page and we will accept you immediately. And I'm looking forward to meet with you again next week. Wishing you a wonderful evening. Stay warm and stay blessed. Till next week. Good night.